As I stand here working on this beautiful vintage instrument, I want to talk about AI a little bit. In some ways, I feel like I don't really have a dog in this fight. This instrument's like 50 years old. I have to tune 73 individual keys, and then I have to voice each key. And they've already sampled this instrument to death and created a million VSTs that are trying to do the same thing as owning this thing. And maybe blend it into the song. It's like comes pretty close, but you just can't really replicate how this instrument feels. What it's like to play it, feel it coming through an amp, run it through pedals, commit to sounds on the way in. But I wasn't going to talk about AI, but I think I need to, because I saw something pretty hilarious the other day. This drummer was saying it was fine, when you could program drums and box out the drummer, but now that you can box out the singer and, AI the singer, it's like a big problem. I thought that was funny. Weights and measures, I guess. I mean, oh, poor drummers. But here's the deal. It's better with a real drummer. That's the thing. That's what you learn when you've been doing this for a while. It's way better with a real drummer. When you hear programmed drums, unless it's like purely pop, electronic music, like a normal song that's supposed to live and breathe with a drummer, it doesn't sound the same when you like box out the drummer totally. So I would agree that it's problematic to think, oh, we're good now, we can just program the drums, no big deal. Really can't focus on much while I'm doing this. But that's actually kind of the point, right? Like, getting good at music takes extreme focus, commitment. It takes quiet years. It takes quiet years of practice. No! Just knocked one of the springs off. That is the tuning. It's a weight. It's a weight that keeps it in tune. Quiet years of practice. And then performances where you're embarrassed because you totally sucked. And that happens when you're good too, when you've been working at it for a while. That documentary about that record Born to Run that I posted about, just such a good example of what it takes to be great at this. Suno is not going to make you great. And that's the other thing. Bruce Springsteen, that record only has 8 songs on it. Do you know how many artists I meet in development deals here who are writing hundreds of songs? Hundreds. I don't understand how that could still be sharp. It's all the way at the end. Figure out what that is later. Hundreds of songs, and it's like they totally lost their connection to their own artistic vision because this sort of productivity thing just totally destroyed them. Like, find your voice. Well, it's like, well, I don't know if you can find your voice by extreme production in terms of quantity. Sometimes you gotta really... I remember in my first record with a band, there's a song called Occurrence at the Well. It's about Jesus and the woman at the well. And that song took me the better part of a school year to write. It just did. And maybe it could have been done faster co-writing, but I needed to work through it, And I had a thesaurus maybe, if I even used it, but I had my imagination most of all. That's crazy. Never heard that. Oh, what am I trying to say? We've just pushed it to the limits. We're pushing it to the limits as humans. And I think we're going to find our limit pretty soon in terms of what's helpful. What kind of tools are helpful and hurtful to the process? I don't think Suno's going to heal. I don't think Suno can heal. I think real human art can heal. And in the words of my friend John, my neighbor, he said, when you say it out loud, artificial intelligence, artificial art. I don't want my art to be associated with anything artificial, machine generated. We can talk about auto-tune and programming drums and in the box, out of the box, whatever. We can talk about all that. But I don't want to be associated with artificial art. That's what it comes down to.